All right, in this video, I'm going to go over using long division with polynomials. Now, this is something I didn't learn until I was in calculus class, but we can divide polynomials. This long, polynomial to the degree of 3 can be divided by this 2-term polynomial. So let's demonstrate that. So we take 2x cubed minus 3x squared plus 4x plus 5 divided by x plus 2. Now I said divided by just so that's just something I use to help me remember where that symbol goes. It's always going over the numerator, right? Because this is a fraction. You could write this as a fraction. You could erase the by there and just put that, and you're dividing this polynomial by that polynomial, right? So how does this work? Well, with normal long division, 234 divided by 2, you go one digit at a time, right? 2 times 1 is 2, right? And then you subtract. And then you're left with the 3 there. Bring the 3 down. 2 goes into 3 how many times? Once again. Right? Left with 1 there. Bring the 4 down. 2 goes into 14 how many times? 7 times, right? And then you subtract. Now, when you do that, you're multiplying 2 by 1 to get positive 2, just like this is a positive number, right? And then you subtract it. That's the part that can throw you off with this, is keeping track of those signs, the positive and negative terms. So our answer there was 117. So what about up here? What would we do? Well, x times what gives us 2x cubed? Well, we'll need an x squared, right? Because x times x squared will give us x cubed, because you add the exponents together when you're multiplying x's. You have an x here and 2 x's there, so you add them together. You get 3 x's. But then you multiply them by 2 as well. So 2x times 2x squared is 2x cubed. Now here's another tricky part. Because we multiplied the first term by that, we got to multiply the second term by that. We got to distribute it. Distributive property, right? So 2 times 2x squared is 4x squared. Now, both of those numbers are positive, because this is positive and this is positive, and that's positive, right? But now comes the next part of long division, where you have to subtract it. Now I'm putting the parentheses there on purpose. Why? Because we're subtracting this whole binomial, right? So when we subtract it, we have to distribute that negative. There's an understood 1 there. Distribute that negative to both terms, so that this becomes negative 2x cubed and this becomes negative 4x squared. Now that's important. This should be 0. That's what we're going for. And this, we cannot afford to mess this up, because negative 3 minus 4 is negative 7. But if it was negative 3 plus 4, that would be positive 1. It's a completely different number. So we got to keep our signs straight. And since we distributed that negative, then we can give ourselves a little positive. Now what? Well, Now we do the same thing we did with 2x cubed with the x, but now we do it with negative 7x squared, right? Keep this going here. So x times what gives us negative 7x? Well, negative 7 and negative 7x squared. So we need another x there, right? Because we only have one x. Negative 7x squared. And again, we got to distribute. Negative 7x times positive 2, negative 14x, right? And we bring down the next term. Like instead of each individual digit like we did in normal long division, we're treating each term like it's a different digit in our number. Now, once again, parentheses, negative. Once you get used to it, maybe you can skip this step, but it's good to help you remember if you write out those parentheses each time and multiply it by a negative, because we need to cancel this out. So this becomes 0. You can't just, get negative 14x squared. That would bring us nowhere. So distribute the negative. So this becomes positive and this becomes positive. 0. 4 plus 14 is 18, right? Yes. Bring the 5 down. X times what gives us 18x? 18, right? That was easy. 2 times 18 is 36. Yeah, 36. And once again, parentheses, subtract. This becomes negative, that becomes negative. And we're left with negative 31. But what multiplies by x to get negative 31? Well, something that divides by x. So this is our remainder. Sometimes that happens in long division. You have a remainder. So our answer would be 2x squared minus 7x plus 18, remainder negative 31. Right? Another way of writing that, more official way of writing that, which I prefer, write it like a fraction. Isn't that what you do when you're doing long division? You have a remainder. Is you take that denominator and put it in the denominator because it is the denominator. It's a fraction of this whole number that is represented by that polynomial there. And there's your answer. Now, how do we know that answer is correct? How can we check our work? I'm so glad you asked. Let's erase this real quick and check our work. Well, if this is correct, we should be able to take x plus 2 and multiply it to 2x squared minus 7x plus 18 and get this answer. Forget about the remainder for now. We're just going to, add it later or subtract it later, really. But for now, it's a separate term. It's not being multiplied by this, so we can ignore it for just now. We have to distribute at x, right? Because we're multiplying polynomials together. So we got what? 2x cubed, looking good so far, minus 7x squared plus 18x. Now, the next term, plus 4x squared minus 14x plus 36, right? Yeah. Now what? Well, we got to combine like terms, right? We got like terms there, there, and there, and there. Use different marks to mark up which are like terms and which aren't. So let's do 2x cubed first. Bring that down. What is negative 7 plus 4 is negative 3 x squared. And then 18x minus 14x is positive 4x plus 36. Well, so far so good. 2x cubed minus 3x squared plus 4x plus 5. What? No, it's plus 36. This is where our remainder comes in. Because we'd already multiplied, technically, we're doing this. And actually distributing the x plus 2 to this and this term as well, actually. So when we multiply x plus 2 times negative 31 over x plus 2, the x plus 2 cancels out, and we're just left with minus 31, which gives us the magic number of 5. And that is how you check your answer. All right, let's do another example. This one's much easier this time. So divide 5x squared plus 3x minus 2 by x plus 1. Okay. X goes into 5x squared how many times? 5x times. Right? X times 5x is 5x squared. 1 times 5x is 5x. That simplifies things a bit. Subtract the polynomial. What do we get? Get a 0 there, plus negative 2x, right? 3 minus 5 is negative 2. And we bring down that negative 2 there, and we do the next one. To get from x to negative 2x, we multiply by negative 2, right? Negative 2x, 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. Oh, that's nice. We're subtracting, right? So this changes both signs. And 0 remainder. So our answer is 5x minus 2. Be easy to check our answer. X plus 1 times 5x minus 2 is what? Distributive property. 5x squared minus 2x plus 5x minus 2. 5x squared plus 3x minus 2. So we got it right. All right, last example. 16x cubed minus 12x squared plus 20x minus 3 divided by 4x plus 5. Whoa. Is that right? Yeah, that's what they want me to do. All right, so 4x goes into 16x cubed. How many times? Well, 4 times 4 is 16, so let's put 4 there. X times x squared is x cubed, so that gives us 16x cubed. Distribute it. 4 times 5 is 20. times x squared. Subtract it, right? 0. This becomes negative. Negative 32x squared, right? Negative 12 minus 20 and negative 32. Bring the next term down. All right, 4x goes into negative 32x squared. How many times? Well, it'll be negative, right, because that's negative. 4 times 8 is 32. And x squared, x times x is x squared. So negative 8x is what we're looking for. 5 times negative 8x is negative 40x. All right. We're subtracting that now, right? So that changes the signs. This is 0 plus what? 60x? Okay. If you say so. Minus 3. Minus 3 down now. 4x goes into 60x how many times? Well, it'll be positive. 4 times what is 60? 15? Is that right? No. Yes, it is. 60 divided by 4. Let's do a little long division here just to make sure. 4 goes into 6 one time. 4 goes into 20 5 times. Yeah, 15. Okay. Okay, 15. 15 times 4 is 60, apparently. And 15 times 5 would be 60 plus 15, which is 75. Eesh. Okay. And what do? We subtract them. It changes the signs. We get a 0 here, and we get a minus 78. Ugh. So that's our remainder, I guess. 4x squared minus 8x plus 15 minus 78 over 4x plus 5. That is our answer. But wait, we need to check our answer to make sure we did that right. I don't know, that was a lot of numbers I just did there. So, let's just erase all that work we just did. Ugh. And let's actually check that. 4x plus 5 times 4x squared minus 8x plus 15 minus 78. No need to put the denominator over there. We know it's going to be minus 78 eventually because that cancels out with this, right? So, distribute it. 16x cubed minus 32x plus 60x plus 20x squared, right? Minus 40x plus 75. Whoa. Combine like terms. Wait a minute, this should be squared. Yeah, combine like terms. These are the squareds. These are the x's. 16x cubed stays the same. Negative 32 plus 20 is negative 12x squared. 60 minus 40 is 20x. Bring that minus 78 down, right? And those are like terms as well. Minus 3. Well, what do you know? 16x cubed minus 12x squared plus 20x minus 3. Bang. Thank you for watching.